WB Mason postgame. Bob Lorenz, John Flaherty, and Jack Curry with you. So it's a doubleheader split for the Yankees against the Blue Jays. They lose the opener, they win the nightcap, and Flash, they do it by hitting the power switch once again. Yeah, nice rebound win for the Yankees. Jordan Montgomery was not great. I mean, he only struck out one in his effort tonight, but he handed it over to the bullpen, which was outstanding. Where was Aroldis Chapman? That's something that we're going to have to find out. But you're right. Aaron Judge has been the guy lately. He's been red hot. He had 3 RBIs, a 2-run home run. But very encouraging to see Gary Sanchez do what he did tonight. The long home run, the base hit to left field. Jack, you mentioned that the Yankees needed something in their lineup. Maybe Gary Sanchez can give it to them.
Right. We wondered where that offense would come from. So some of it tonight was familiar, as you mentioned. Judge, a homer and a sac fly, 3 runs batted in. Urshela with an RBI double. They've been 2 of the best hitters for the Yankees all year. But Sanchez, that was less familiar because here's a guy who's hitting under 200 and hasn't lived up to who the Yankees think he should be. But in addition to the home run, he did have another well-stung base hit. So the Yankees did bounce back and grab a game that they needed. I know after losing 2 games, you'd say, well, they needed that game. They did. I think there was a malaise around them. Their offense was not producing. And you do not want to come to the ballpark, play all of those hours, even though they've shortened the game to 7 innings, and walk away with 2 losses before you head to your next series. So I think it was a workmanlike effort. I think Montgomery gave them enough, and the bullpen did the rest.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights of the ball game. The nightcap is presented by your local Ford stores. We'll start bottom of the first. Robbie Ray pitching for the Blue Jays in this one. DJ LeMahieu is going to lead things off, lining a 2-1 breaking ball up the middle for a single. And Jack, you've talked about cashing in early. The Yankees were able to do that once LeMahieu got on board.
Yeah, 3 batters later, 2 men on, 1 out. It's Urshela, and he drives this pitch over the head of Gurriel Jr. in left field. Bounces off the wall. Nice recovery by Gurriel Jr. LeMahieu scores. And how about this throw from Bichette? A bullet to Jansen to get Judge attempting to score. One more look at Judge as he has to wait to see if the ball is going to be a hit. A little hesitation there, guys, at second base, and I think that may end up coming around to cost him. But Bichette with just an absolute cannon. Yankees still lead 1-0.
All right, so let's take it to the top of the third. Jordan Montgomery, man on first, nobody out. Santiago Espinal on the move, and Jonathan Davis lines 1 to third. Urshela right there for the double play. But then Monty, later in the inning, got himself into trouble.
Couple of 2-out walks, and that's a first pitch, get me over curveball to Bichette, and he does not wait around as he hammers it into the Blue Jay bullpen in left field. 11th of the season, 2nd home run to the double dip, and the Blue Jays take an early 3-1 lead.
But bottom half of the third, the Yankees punch back.
Yeah, it's a 3-0 count. It's not only a green light for Judge, it's bright light, as bright as you can get green here. When he gets that fastball, he drives it to straightaway center, off the batter's eye. 2-run shot is his 13th. It was a 440-foot bomb, 3-3 game.
Top of the fourth, man on second, 2 outs. Espinal to right field. Clint Frazier drifts back, makes the catch on the track to end the inning. That leads us to the bottom half of the 4th inning, and our turning point of the game brought to you by Montefiore, doing more. That big at bat by Gary Sanchez.
Yeah, Gary Sanchez on with nobody on and 1 out, and he is going to get a 3-2 slider, and he's not going to miss this one. That ends up 444 feet away. A solo shot, his 6th of the season, and the Yankees take a 4-3 lead.
So on to the top of the 5th. Now it's Jonathan Loaizaga on in relief of Montgomery with a man aboard. Gets Bichette looking on a 3-2 breaking ball to end the inning. And then bottom of the 5th, Jack, the Yanks would add to their lead.
Yeah, runners on 2nd and 3rd, and if you're Judge, you get the ball in the air here with 1 out, and that's going to deliver a run. He doesn't put it in the seats, but he puts it to the edge of the warning track, and that's good enough to allow Tyler Wade to score. Yankees up 5-3.
Top of the 6th, Wandy Peralta relieved Loaizaga. 2 men aboard. 1 pitch to pinch hitter Rowdy Tellez and gets him to ground to third to end the frame. And then that takes it to the top of the 7th. And Chad Green with Aroldis Chapman not available. We'll hear from Aaron Boone about that. 1-2-3, top of the 7th. He gets Marcus Semien to lift one out to left. Brett Gardner will glove it. And that is your ball game as the Yankees win the final game of the series.